Hello, fellow diecasters, and welcome to another insanely episode of Diecast Insanity. I know I mentioned last week that we were going to be doing the Customs 101 episode with Elijah's Bronco, but we ran out of clear coat. So we're going to put that on hold. We'll get back to that. We'll get some clear. We'll get it all cleared. We'll put it together, and then we'll get working on the next one.
Yep.
So we thought we would finally do our 2017 car culture review. We have all 5 sets, every car, at least packaged every car in all 5 sets. And we have most of them open. There's a few exceptions that we don't because some of them I didn't want to open. Some of them I couldn't find to open, so we'll go there. First off, my thought on this year's car culture, I'm a little disappointed. I know everybody's all, ooh, full deco, full deco, full deco. But it also made the cars $550 a piece.
That's $40 to $50 a set.
So if you want like a full set package and a full set open, you're gonna, like you said, you're gonna shell out $50. I think it's like 46 something to buy a case through some
AJ Toys.
Yeah, to NJ Toys, I think, something like that. So my new set going forth on car culture is you probably won't see full sets from us anymore. Hi D'Artagnan. I'll probably buy the cars that I want, and I'll open them like the 510. If you guys saw the haul from earlier, I bought the 510 from the Japanese Historics 2 set, and I opened it. So that's probably what you're going to see from us now on. So this might be the last time you'll see an entire car culture review from us. So, with that being said, let's go forth and take a look at this awesomeness that is 2017 car culture. 5 sets, one more set than we did last year. And let's start off with what our best cars were from each set. So, let's start with Redliners, which was the first set. What was your most favorite car from
Gasser.
Redliner? So you're going to go...
The Gasser.
He's going to go the Gasser, the 55.
There's no way that...
Bad gassing.
That was... I didn't even think on that one. It's just there.
That is pretty sweet. I'd have to be with Elijah. I'd have to go with this one. This one's mine. I opened mine, and I didn't get one in package, so we got his up here. I think probably the coolest package, too, because it fits the most narrative of that thing with the Gasser coming off the starting line.
The
And
Gasser and the Dodge fit that name.
That's probably pretty cool. So, air-cooled, what was your... And this is the set he has the least of. He's only got 2 of them.
I should find some more. But my favorite, this one I did have to think on a little bit. It was a tie between the Volkswagen, the Porsche Outlaw, and the Fiat, and I went with the Fiat. Just because it's so small and it's so, like, in that weirdly cool kind of area of cars.
Really sweet. Really cool car. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. The squareback was, I think, probably the coolest squareback I think Hot Wheels has done paint scheme-wise. But my favorite has to, I don't know why, I just love the tempoing on it. My favorite's the little bug. I love the tempo work on it. I think the tempo work's really cool. Wheel choice is really cool. I think this is probably my favorite from that set. That's my vote. That's probably my favorite. So, let's move on to Race Day. Probably, at the time, I thought was the coolest set this year total. So what's your favorite car?
No doubt, Porsche.
Yep, he's going with the 962. I'm probably with him. This is probably basically because it fits my racing background and what I grew up watching as a kid.
It's also
the Group C cars.
It's also such a prestigious car.
Won Le Mans 6 times, I believe, consecutively. Really cool car. I've also got 2 more of these that I'm going to be doing customs with. So I have a total of 4 of these, with 1 out, 1 in, and then 4 others that we're going to be doing customs with. So modern classics, kind of a toughie. What's your favorite?
My biggest tie-up is between the Renault, the Mercedes, and the BMW. I like the boxy style of the BMW and Mercedes, But the Renault Turbo, it has a really vibrant rally background,
Yep.
and that's probably why I'd have to go with it, because I really like the concept of rally, dirt rally, and snow rally. It's probably one of the most difficult motorsports you can do out there, and the Renault 5 Turbo has a very vibrant history in it.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. I'm with him. I like all of them in the set. The Mercedes is really cool, being the brand new casting of the set. The recolor on the Porsche is pretty cool because it's the street. I mean, this is what it would look like on the street. The Beamer's okay. Not my favorite BMW, but that's pretty cool. I'd have to go with him though. I'd have to go with the R5 Renault, the turbo, just because of its historicness and the fact that this is the first time Hot Wheels has brought it back since Boulevards, I believe. It's kind of neat to finally have one in the collection.
And before we move on, I almost forgot one car of this set
Oh,
because
the
we don't
Civic.
have it opened. The Honda CRX. This was also a really tough decision, but I still went with the Renault over it, and I did win over it. I did think about it, but I forgot about it in the moment. And I do have it open. We forgot I grabbed it. I forgot about it, but I still went over the Renault 5 Turbo over it.
Okay, last set of the year, which really wasn't out very long. The Cars and Donuts set. So which one is your?
Beamer.
Yeah, I say he
BMW
no
Pro
hesitation, no hesitation. The BMW M1,
But
very very sweet car.
aside from the no hesitation, the Alfa Romeo is second in line for me because Alphas are such cool cars. They also
Especially
have
this Giulia. This is a
Uh-huh.
very cool car.
they also have a good history and rally background.
Hmm.
They look great, but just the fact that Hot Wheels did a pro car of the BMW and how that car was such a rare car,
Yeah, it's a
and how
very
it is
very
a rare
very
car,
sweet car.
it's just no hesitation.
I'd have to go with him. I'd go with the M1 is probably my favorite. My second favorite would have to be the Subaru.
That was a cool one too.
And then
Yeah.
followed by the Alpha would probably be mine. And then, of course, the Fugu is kind of up there, but I'm already kind of over the Fugu when I got the main line, so
Aguza, yeah.
it's kind of getting monotonous now. But still,
Yeah.
it's pretty.
It's
That's
still a
pretty
good car.
very cool car. Very cool 510.
Yeah.
So, is there anything in any one of these sets that you would have changed?
Oh yeah, air cooled set. The Volkswagen.
Oh yeah. This one.
It's just not got a very good style. And I know for a fact I had a choice over it, and I can't exactly remember it at the moment. Oh, no, I remember. Carmen Ghia. The Carmen Ghia would have worked a lot better in the air-cooled set than it did in the track day set. Because the way it looked in a track day set is almost drag style.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's an air-cooled, it would have fit a lot more better into the air-cooled because it has a lot more style to it.
Yeah.
Redliners, probably the Camaro, and maybe even the Cougar, because the way that they're set up and molded and casted, they're obviously street cars when you open them, and they just don't fit the narrative and the theme of the name Hot Wheels Redliners. Just changed them into more of a drag feel car. Possibly more gassers. I think more gassers would have finished out the set really well. Race day, I don't think I can say I can change anything. It was all really good. As well as modern classics. It was modern classics and Cars and Donuts. I don't really think I can say to change anything because they were both really good sets, both really good cars. Especially the Renault 5 Turbo, the Pro car, the Subaru and the Cars and Donuts. Just some really nice classic cars that have a vibrant and prestigious history.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of with Elijah. Redliners, I like them. I probably would have changed those two to something more racing oriented than what they did. Maybe I don't know what I would have even gone with. Maybe another drag car. Maybe like the like a Pro Stock Camaro, like the Pro Stock Camaro or the Pro Stock Firebird if they still have that casting um, in mind. That might be a good thing. Air cooled, I'm like him. I would have changed that Volkswagen that they did. Maybe for the one that they did in the special set that you can get from RLC that adds one more to all of these. The one that was in it maybe would have been a good choice over that one. Race day, I wouldn't change anything in race day other than maybe this one because it was already out in
The
Japanese Historics. It's out again in the Japanese Historics 2 set, so now we've had it 3 times already. So it's the most car we've had so far.
See, but the reason I didn't want to change it was because I really wanted that car.
That's true. He really wanted this car.
I
so
saw
that
it
would
on
be...
the back of the Japanese Historics, and I loved the look of it, and I really wanted it. And the race day set was my only chance to get it.
So I would have changed that to another car, maybe another, maybe a, since it's race day, maybe a stock car would have been kind of cool if they could have done it. Or, like maybe
A stock
race,
car.
maybe the race version of this Cougar, maybe would have been kind of cool.
I really can't agree with you on that.
Or
to be
I
honest,
would have
because-
even have accepted another Chevelle in the race days, even though it was in track day. I think I would have put it back in race day just for, or another one that might be cool would be maybe the Hakoska Skyline.
That would work better, because when you look at this set, there's nothing that resembles American in it, and I think something American would stand out too much, and it just make
Yeah, so
the
maybe like the
feel of it
Hakoska Skyline or the regular 240 casting. Hold on for a sec. Maybe this casting in a race.
yes.
Maybe this.
Yes.
Maybe the 240Z.
Yes.
And a race car would be
That would
have been a
yes.
cool choice to go for race day outside of doing the Mazda because they probably already had it slated to go in Japanese Historics 2. Because if you look at it now, that makes it's the car that's been in car culture the most. That's 3 times. I mean, you got 2 here. You got 2 here. You got no, that was Forza, so that's different. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be that's its 3rd time.
Because most of the cars that's the thing about this year, is most of the cars that were in the car culture is their first time. But then when you look at it, you might say car culture hasn't been out for that long, and that's a fact, but just so many new castings within this year.
So modern classics, is there anything you would change there?
I
Oh wait, no,
said
you already
no,
said
yeah.
that, so I'm on
I already went over
They
that.
already went over that. Me, I would have probably changed this just simply because we just had it in track day. I would have put what the car they came out with in that other set, the vet, or not the vet, but the Mustang that's coming out in the RLC set that adds one more to these. Maybe put that in here and move this one to that set and make this the 5th car. Because there's no American cars here. You got modern classics, but not a single American modern classic.
They mostly, they went
So
European and then one Japanese car.
So it would be. I think that would have been. You have no American representation in that set for modern classics.
And you it would have been nice to have one, now thinking about it, because America is what created the muscle car, it's what created the hot rod, it's what created the truck. And
So I could think of a great many modern classics: a modern Mustang, a modern Vet, a Viper. A premium Viper would have been
that
cool.
would definitely fit the
Modern classic theme. It would fit
theme.
right in right here.
Oh, yeah.
The newer Viper.
supercar feel. even
Viper,
though these
or
aren't
or I don't know if they still have it, but the Celine S7.
Oh.
I consider that car a modern classic. The Celine S7 would be a really cool car. I know they don't produce the Callaway anymore. I know they got rid of that casting, but that would have been another one to do a premium of. So that's my game. I love the modern classics. I just think not having an American car in there kind of threw it off a little bit, and I would have changed that Porsche for that.
And now while looking at it, the only set to have had American cars in all of this year is Redliners.
As Redliners, yeah, because then they were all.
And something in race day, would maybe it'd be nice to have a American car in that set. GT40.
A premium.
GT40, the years that won back to back GT40s.
That would have been cool to have a GT40 with the 962 in the same set. That would have been kind of cool.
What would be really cool, that just a little off topic from our current video, but for Hot Wheels to do a Ford GT40 premium set just for the GT40 history.
That'd make a cool car culture.
That would make
I would buy. I would
selling.
buy that whole set.
Yeah.
I don't think they do have a Mark V casting, but it's old. They've never done it since the 60s. It would be kind of cool, or maybe pick that was 60. So maybe do the year that the gold one won and do all 4 cars in each car color. Because they have done it in I can't think of the name of them right off the top. I have a couple of them, but we'll get off of that right now. I've lost my train of thought. Cars and Donuts, I don't think I would have changed anything other than I would have changed the paint scheme here.
Yeah.
I mean,
didn't
it's a
even
cool
think of
car.
that.
It's a cool car. It's great. I'd have left the car in the set. It's not the car I have the issue with. It's the side tempoing on the car.
Paint job.
The front is okay. I like the hood. That what I would leave, but I would have taken off these here and the side and just leave the inner black. That's actually the plastic from the interior. I would have left that. Just left the side plain. Maybe put something down like wording, like a sponsor or something down across the rocker panel on the bottom. But that's the only thing I would have changed from this set is the paint tempoing on this car, because it just looks weird.
Makes it look like it's a bone structure.
It does, and I would have taken that tempoing off, left the headlights, left the hood tempoing, and maybe put. I don't know if that McLaren has any wording across the bottom of the rocker panel anywhere, but I might have put something down there like Yokohama, maybe.
Because McLaren is really associated with Yokohama.
So put like Yokohama across the bottom down there or something. Something that the side just looks weird to me on that car. I love the car. I like it was a great addition to the set. It's great to have that car in a premium. I just don't like the side tempoing on it. That's the only thing I would change. So that's it for that. Now, the tough one. What set is the best?
Okay, set. Not car, but set.
Set.
That one's a toughie. It's mainly between Race Day, Modern Classics, and Cars and Donuts.
The last 3.
Hot Wheels, Redliners, and Air Cooled really don't kind of make the competition line for me. But Race Day, Modern Classics, and Cars and Donuts, they're such all three of them are such good competitors because there's so many cars with such a prestigious history, a vibrant history. That's what I mainly look at, is the history and the rarity and prestige of the cars that are in them. And all 3 of these sets have that, and they all compete so well with each other, and it just makes it hard to choose.
So you're just going to go with that?
I'm just going to leave it at that.
When I first saw the sets and they first started coming out, Race Day was my favorite out of all of them, and then Modern Classics came out, and then I'm like, uh-oh. And then Cars and Donuts came out, and I was kind of like,
Crap.
crap. So, I don't know. I like all three of them. I'm kind of with Elijah. I would have to put Track Day or Race Day and Cars and Donuts above Modern Classics just for the fact that I was a little bummed that there wasn't an American car in there. But I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to narrow it down. I'm going to have to go with Cars and Donuts.
Yeah. Pro car.
Just slightly, basically because of the Pro Car. I didn't realize how much the Subaru was going to have a pull on me because I'm like Elijah. I do love rally cars. And that car, the WRX, is a really cool rally car.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of pulled me towards that a little more. And then you've thrown in the Faguza, which I'm a huge Datsun 240 fan. So I'm going to have to go with Cars and Donuts 1, Race Day 2, Modern Classics 3, Redliners 4, and Air Cooled 5. So that's my take on what is what. So we've got, these are our votes for the best, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The best from each set, as you guys can see. The best from each set. So what is the best car out of all five?
I'm not going
In
to
your-
choose. I'm going to choose 2.
Okay, he's going 2.
Porsche and the Pro car.
So he's going here. The 2 full-on
They're
race day race cars.
cars. But I'm not going to choose one for sure, but I am going to put the Pro car slightly above the Porsche.
Well, slightly above the Porsche.
Slightly above the Porsche. Because when you look at it, it's got such a short but prestigious history in it. And it's also a very rare car.
Yeah.
Now, there is one car that Hot Wheels has never done that beats both the Porsche and the Pro car in history. How extremely fast and prestigious it was, and how many races it did. It only did 1, and it is still in Ford's possession. The GT
Mach 5.
Mach 5. Or the Mach 4.
5. I think it's
5?
5.
Okay, you guys, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about,
The,
but
the A.J. Foyt, Dan Gurney winning 1965.
if that car was put into any of these, it would be my choice because of it's the only one of its kind of car that was built. It ran one race, won one race.
Well, it ran more than one. It ran
Okay.
at like Sebring and stuff, but it only ran for 1 year, and then they changed the rear. They sold off the cars. So.
Ford, it's still in Ford's possession.
Yep.
Never been sold, and just the fact that it could go in for 1 year, beat the oldest race in motorsports history
Well, in
By a
in
sweep.
endurance racing, anyways.
by an absolute sweep is just amazing, and it would have blown everything out of the water.
I think I'm with Elijah. My take, those have to probably be the two best. I really love the new Mercedes casting, especially as when it's coming out in the new Project Cars 2 paint scheme, because it's coming out in a very cool DTM paint scheme.
That's gonna be a good game.
So I'm gonna have to go with Elijah. The 962 and the M1 Pro car are probably my 2 favorites. So, but that's our take on last year's car culture. Great sets. Probably the last time we'll have this many.
Yeah.
Because of the price, I can't afford to put that much out for a full set of cars.
Mhm. Both open and
Both open and in the package. So you'll probably just be seeing little bits and pieces of car culture from us going forward, but that's cool. We've got other things we can do
Oh yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. So that's our take on the car culture. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are finding what you're looking for. And remember,
leave some on the Pinks for us at the collectors.
and we will see you next week with the bi-weekly, and I may just throw something in there to go along because we didn't do any custom work this week. So I'll probably throw a couple other things in there because I have some ideas for some Hot Wheels therapy things. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.